Let me ask you something unsettling. If you were born 500 years earlier, same mind, same soul, but into a different empire, would you be a ruler, or would you already be dead? Not because of fate, not because of courage, but because of technology. Specifically, because of a grainy black powder that doesn't care who you are. Gunpowder never asked if an empire deserved to live. It never judged morality. It never respected tradition, honor, or bloodline. It only asked one question: who adapts? And who disappears? Tonight, we're not just talking about cannons and muskets. We're talking about the moment human power slipped out of the hands of tradition and into the hands of destruction. Because once gunpowder entered history, the world stopped being ruled by the strong and started being ruled by the prepared. And that change still defines your life today. Before gunpowder, a world that moved. Slowly before gunpowder, power had a rhythm. Empires rose and fell, yes, but slowly. Borders shifted over generations. Cities endured sieges that lasted years. Walls meant safety. Armor meant survival. Skill meant status. Violence was brutal, but it was personal. You saw the man you killed. You felt the resistance of his body. War required proximity, stamina, and courage. Power belonged to those with time. Time to train, time to inherit, time to master the sword, the horse, the bow. This is why aristocracies lasted so long. This is why lineage mattered. This is why kings claimed divine right. Because in a world without gunpowder, power moved at the speed of muscle and belief. Then something happened that shattered this rhythm forever. An accident that changed history. Gunpowder wasn't invented by generals. It was discovered by accident. In 9th century China, Taoist alchemists were searching for immortality. They mixed sulfur, charcoal, and saltpeter, hoping to unlock eternal life. Instead, they created something that burned violently and exploded. The irony is almost cruel. In the search for eternal life, humanity discovered a faster way to die. At first, gunpowder was treated like a curiosity, then like a spectacle. Fireworks, rituals, celebrations meant to frighten spirits. But humans are very good at one thing: turning miracles into weapons. The first thunder of a new world. Early gunpowder weapons were crude, dangerous, unreliable. Fire lances spat flames. Bombs cracked clay pots more often than enemy ranks. Early rockets screamed wildly through the air, but the psychological impact was immediate. Noise, smoke, fear. These weapons didn't just kill, they unnerved. Armies trained for centuries to face blades suddenly confronted thunder itself. Horses panicked, formations broke, courage failed. Gunpowder introduced something new to warfare: terror without intimacy. And once terror works, it spreads. The death of the elite warrior. Here is the truth that changed everything. Gunpowder didn't make warriors stronger. It made skill less important. For the first time in history, a farmer could kill a knight. A peasant could end a noble lineage. A conscript could undo decades of training. This was revolutionary and horrifying. Elite warriors had defined civilization: European knights, Japanese samurai, Persian cavalry, Indian Rajputs. They trained from childhood. Their identity was built around honor, discipline, and mastery. Gunpowder didn't defeat them in battle. It made them obsolete. In Japan, samurai resisted firearms as dishonorable. In Europe, knights mocked guns as cowardly. In China, traditionalists argued they were unstable and immoral. But history is unforgiving. Those who refused gunpowder lost wars. Those who embraced it survived. Tradition became a liability. When walls became meaningless. For thousands of years, walls defined civilization. A city with strong walls could endure famine, siege, and invasion. Empires invested enormous resources into stone, moats, towers, and gates. Gunpowder ended that era. Cannons didn't just damage walls, they invalidated them. The most famous moment came in 1453. Constantinople, capital of the Byzantine Empire, had walls so formidable they had resisted invasion for over a millennium. Crusaders failed, Arab armies failed, generations gave up. The Ottomans did not give up. They brought cannons. Day after day the walls shook, stone cracked, history groaned. And then the unthinkable happened. The walls fell. With them fell an empire that traced its roots to Rome. That moment didn't just end Byzantium, it ended the medieval world. From that day forward, no city was safe, no fortress eternal. Power no longer belonged to those who could build higher, but to those who could destroy faster. The birth of the gunpowder state. Gunpowder didn't just reshape warfare, it reshaped governance. Cannons and firearms were expensive. They required factories, logistics, supply chains, and training. Feudal systems, based on personal loyalty, couldn't support this. So rulers changed. Kings centralized power. Taxes increased. Bureaucracies expanded. Standing armies replaced feudal levies. This is the origin of the modern state. Gunpowder forced rulers to count people, record property, collect revenue. Enforce obedience power became institutional, and once power becomes institutional, it becomes scalable. The rise of the gunpowder empires. Historians speak of the gunpowder empires not because they used firearms, but because they were built around them. The Ottomans, the Safavids, the Mughals. Each used gunpowder to centralize authority, crush rivals, expand territory rapidly. In India, Babur defeated larger armies using artillery. In Persia, Safavid rulers fused firearms with religious legitimacy. In the Ottoman Empire, elite janissaries wielded firearms with terrifying discipline. Gunpowder rewarded organization over bravery. It favored states over individuals. Empires that mastered logistics ruled continents. Europe learns a dangerous lesson. Europe did not invent gunpowder, but it perfected something else: relentless optimization. European states competed constantly. War never stopped. Failure meant annihilation, so they improved firearms faster, drilled soldiers harder, mounted cannons on ships. This last innovation changed everything. Cannons at sea turned oceans into highways of conquest. Naval gunpowder allowed Europe to project power globally, to dominate trade routes, to conquer territories thousands of miles away. This wasn't bravery, it was efficiency. Colonization and the asymmetry of power. When European powers reached the Americas, Africa, and parts of Asia, they didn't arrive as gods. They arrived with gunpowder, and that difference mattered. Firearms shattered armies unfamiliar with such weapons. Cannons demolished cities built for other kinds of war. Smoke and thunder created psychological shock. But gunpowder alone didn't conquer continents. It amplified existing divisions. It enforced exploitation. It allowed small forces to dominate vast populations. Empires fell not because they were inferior, but because they encountered history at the wrong moment. Gunpowder made conquest faster, cheaper, and more absolute. The moral distance of violence. Here is the quietest, but most important change gunpowder brought: distance. Before gunpowder, killing required closeness. After gunpowder, death could be delivered from afar. You didn't have to see the eyes of the person you killed. You didn't feel their struggle. Violence became abstract, and abstraction makes repetition easier. Gunpowder laid the foundation for industrial war, not just physically, but psychologically. It trained humanity to kill without connection. From empires to apocalypse. By the 20th century, gunpowder had evolved into artillery, machine guns, and bombs. World War I revealed its full horror. Millions died for meters of land. World War II showed what happens when industrial destruction meets ideology. And beyond that, nuclear weapons, still rooted in the same principle: power through explosion. The alchemists never found immortality, but they did give humanity the ability to erase itself. The world you live in is gunpowder's legacy borders: states, armies, revolutions, policing, warfare. None of these exist in their modern form without gunpowder. Every government today rests on the monopoly of organized violence. That is not an accident. That is history's momentum. The final question. Gunpowder changed empires, but it also changed what it means to be human. It gave us the power to reshape the world faster than our wisdom could grow. And now, centuries later, we live inside its consequences. So the real question isn't whether gunpowder changed history. It's whether humanity can ever outgrow the power it unleashed. Because once destruction becomes easy, stopping becomes the hardest thing of all.